Hello and welcome Science Mr. Robertson time again, and it's going to be some digestive system today. Digestive system, people, is all about the food we eat. We've done a lot of stuff in food this year. What it is, it's how our bodies actually get the food from the big bits all the way to the little bits and then into our blood. It's in the blood I want all of my nutrients to go, because my blood is my transport system. The blood is the thing that takes whatever I want, wherever I want in my body. And there's two different sides to the digestive system, really. One of them is a physical side, and one is a chemical side. And what I mean when I'm going through this here, the physical side are when I'm actually breaking food down in different ways. This could be cutting it. I have my plate of chips and I cut into them. It's a physical process I do. Another thing could be, of course, just my teeth. So my teeth, of course, are adapted. Sharp teeth, well, not for me so sharp, but sharp teeth at the front, grinding teeth at the back, so I get soft, small bits of food to swallow. And even further on down, in my stomach, I even do some squeezing. So my stomach is constantly churning and squeezing the food, which also helps to break down some of the things as well. There are also some chemical processes to it. For example, I have lots of enzymes. Enzymes that are in my saliva, enzymes that are in my stomach, enzymes that are in my small intestine and produced just next to it as well. They all help to break down chemically lots of different things. I have as well acid, very, very strong acid, that is syra på svenska, and that acid, I find it in my stomach. We can say a magsyra. And that stomach acid has two main jobs. One is to help break things down. Strong acids can corrode very easily. But also, the other job is it's also protection. Especially against any types of bacteria coming in, hit the acid, they're going to be destroyed. Any of those proteins, they get to change shape and denature in the acid really quickly, so probably not much chance of doing any good surviving. Let's go through. Let's go through little bit by bit to make sure we've got this. Stomach, we've just spoke about a lot, but the main part where it all gets super interesting is when we actually get out of the stomach and we've got that messy, gooey mess. I have to add in there, just before the small intestine, I have to add lots and lots of a chemical called bile. Bile is a crazy word which means it emulsifies fats. Basically, it separates them. It starts to get all the fat bits and blobs and separates them out into really fine things. What's really important here for all of these enzymes and what they do is that they actually help to break down into the simple ingredients. For example, there's a material called pepsin, which is an enzyme in the stomach. What that does is it breaks proteins down into something called amino acids. These here, the amino acids, they're the building blocks for us to make proteins. So take a protein in nature, get some enzymes on it, start to break it down, and then I can make my amino acids in my cells with my DNA code. I can make that into new proteins that I want in my body to make me grow strong. So the whole pattern there that I need. Of course, for carbohydrates, If I talk about carbohydrates, you can see up there, yes you can. Carbohydrates, there are lots of long, awesome ones, but when it gets to my small intestine, that is where I have the enzymes to break them down into simple sugars. And of course, it's glucose that I need. It's glucose that is the size of carbohydrate my body can absorb, take it in, and send it around the blood. The fats, they need to be broken down eventually into things called fatty acids. You can still see that, that's awesome. I need to consistently break down all of these things to get all the nutrients that I actually want. Chemically, I can do that, but physically, there's some other things I need to do to help as well. Because they go into the small intestine, tunntarmen. And the small intestine, we know it's really long. It's long, so there's more place to absorb. That's really good. More place to absorb, more chance of getting all the nutrients I need in. It's also really, really thin. The actual wall of the small intestine is super small. That means there's less distance to absorb. My cells only have to carry it over a little bit. That helps because that makes it far easier for me to get all those nutrients into my blood as fast as possible. Furthermore, I can also say that it's rich in blood. Not only is it just a small distance, but there's loads of blood vessels that are just right next to it, waiting for any chance they get. So you get even quicker movement into the blood. Excellent, it's fantastic. But the best thing is the shape. So you have the squiggly tubes going through the small intestine. But what's also amazing is that the small intestine itself is covered in these little sticky up hair-shaped structures all on the outside here. By doing that, the food just can't go through the middle like so. The food has to go up and over all these little bits. What we've done is we've made the surface area, you can see that as well, awesome, and a good day here, is much bigger. And for all things in biology, the surface area is surely the most important thing for actually getting really good absorption. After the small intestine, we do move on down into the large intestine. Shock-tarmen. Main job here is to take out water. And you'll notice if you have diarrhea, then you don't take out enough water. So your poo is quite horrible. And this can happen if you have an imbalance of bacteria. There are some people who would say as much as 50% of your large intestine is full of bacteria. And that is a good thing, because those bacteria also help to break down any bits of leftover food in there. They also help to control the systems so that that food can actually pass through nice and healthily. It's very important to make sure your poo and all of those things are fantastic, that you eat plenty of fibre. You should be aiming, I would say, for your food to be going in your mouth, passing through, And the bits you don't take up should go out about a day later. From mouth to anus and all the bits in between. That'll do for now. Thank you very much.